pear, ripe, cherry, fill it, yum, fill it, pear, ripe, cherry, fill it, yum, fill it, pear, ripe, cherry, fill it, yum, fill it, pear, ripe, cherry, fill it, yum.
I'm the biggest hit, I'm the biggest hit on the stage. I'm the biggest hit, I'm the biggest hit on the stage. I'm the biggest hit, I'm the biggest hit on the stage. I'm the biggest hit, I'm the biggest hit on the stage.
Hi friends, today I'm going to discuss possible reasons to why K-pop idols may get mistreated. Disclaimer: these are all just allegations and none other than possibilities. Secondly, nothing mentioned in this video justifies any form of mistreatment. Lastly, please don't take any offense. If you may feel attacked, keep it respectful and don't take these too seriously. Without wasting any more time, let's get to it. So if the company isn't Aomgahaya Music or the owner's name is J-Park, the company will probably not see its staff or idols as any other than moneymakers. Unfortunately, just like any other company or business in the world, there is a constant race to the top. That's why smaller companies have a tendency to treat their artists better, while the bigger companies tend to do what they have to, since it's seen as the fight of the fittest. Best examples I can think of is SM Entertainment versus Big Hit Hyper. For years, SM has been the biggest company, or at least the leading company, followed up by JYP and other agencies that used to be bigger in the previous generations, like YG. These were the big three. Then suddenly BTS blew up and got big hit in the list of one of the highest paying companies with the biggest income. Taking in consideration that SM has been the leading company since first gen, BTS became a new threat in multiple ways, thus they had to step up their game. Since BTS were now leading the global charts, surpassing many other K-pop groups and big-time artists from all over the globe, SM had to find a way to get to their level or pass it.
I'm on the next level.
Anyway, that's when SM got their major groups teaming up to form Super M. But even still, BTS stays at the top, especially with them singing in English and all. But SM now trying to also keep the lyrics more English than Korean. This is one example of getting to the top. Well, this is where mistreatment of staff comes in. Obviously, being a major K-pop company's staff member can't be easy, since all the pressure of keeping the idols' names clear as well as the company. It's hard enough to do what you're being paid for, but then the managers and the directors and all of them are factors you'd have to deal with, alongside other things like complaints from netizens, fans both national and international. Sometimes you'd have to deal with sasaengs either trying to get in from their purse or nunas, regardless of how you have to deal with them, and much more. Now, regarding all staff who directly work with idols, the staff are probably told how to work with idols and have a specific way of working with them according to the way the company wants it. That's why you'd see when idols are training, they're possibly being mistreated, seeing that when things come to a concept like a main group concept, there are specific standards in need of fulfilling. In order to get the trainees to fulfill that standard, they have to handle them in a specific way to get through to them. Then, once these trainees can debut, they have set an image for themselves as a group and as an individual within the group. Thus, staff have to be there for them to make sure they don't ruin that image, their reputation, or their concept. This has pros and cons, such as pros: no scandals that could ruin their careers, protection against threats like sasaengs, a guideline that prevents them from making controversial mistakes. Cons: anxiety and panic disorders caused by strict staff members, as well as stress that you'd screw up and get in a lot of trouble once you and your members get back to the company. Obviously, there is a lot of pressure that comes from all directions, which can make situations worse even if you are in the supportive group ever. This has a negative impact on our mental health. Another important mention is that most K-pop idols, when they become trainees, get all their classes, or most of their classes, for free, and those who live afar or abroad had to live in dorms. This means they're basically debts to the company, and are technically the company's until they've paid all their debt off, and that could be from a few months' worth of debt to years' worth of debt. This could also cause companies to treat idols badly to make them understand how crucial it is to become a pop idol to pay them back, but also to maybe become the next biggest group, one of the biggest. As we all know, this causes even more stress, further anxiety and panic disorders, and much more. Worse enough, these idols start out from young ages, which makes them vulnerable to mistreatment. Due to the lack of knowledge, especially at such a young age, this makes young trainees prone to being taken advantage of in multiple terms, of course, and still regardless of age. Trainees may not be educated on their rights when it comes to the work environment, and what laws protect them against mistreatment, and where they can go to report it. Fairly enough, they may be scared of whatsoever, and that could hold them back from confronting the situation, causing whatever happened by whoever committed just ends up getting away with it. Then line distributions honestly makes me mad, since I find it pretty odd to have like 10 members with like 3 rappers who end up either getting most parts of a song or the least, depending on the genre. Then when certain of the vocalists get more parts than others, and theme people say, yeah, but this member's raps, this one sings, and that one dances. I don't care who is supposed to do what. When I'm listening to a song, I don't imagine the freaking choreo. I can assure you I'm probably stuck with multiple thoughts in my head. And yeah, reasons to this are simply that there's a place for everyone, aren't they? Want to keep all the doors open to keep all the members satisfied, but also the fans. Thus some idols get neglected, and for some reasons some companies decide not to allow some of their artists to expand their careers from being known for this group to being an actor or something. Possible reasons for this could be that they don't want to overwork their idols, they don't want their idols to get under even more pressure. Honestly, there are many reasons. Now, one thing that really frustrates me about K-pop fans all over, and it shows everyone is so concerned about NCT Hollywood, saying things like it'll only be an all-white group, or bunk off Justins. Honestly, how ignorant are people to assume that America is an all-white country? Cause all of us know it's no. Besides, has everyone just forgot that Johnny comes from America? Jaehyun used to live there for 4 years. Mark comes from Canada, and there are many other K-pop idols who comes from the US and Canada and other regions to like Australia. Yang comes from Germany. So no, I really think people should stop with this. Touch some grass or spend quality time with your family or your cat, or do your research if you don't have anything better to do. Even though we can literally expect anything from SM, think about it. SM has never had non-Asian K-pop idols signed with them that we know of. Why would things suddenly change? And even if they'd consider taking in non-Asians, so you really think only white guys will be interested? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of potential in all the people who will audition. Besides, the company knows what is the best for them and their artist. If NCT Hollywood gets this much amount hate so far, I have a slight idea they'd surprise us. They can be better than we think. And even if there are non-Asians, they're probably going to be good. SM wouldn't try to screw up the money they could get from these possible artists, so please calm down.
Hey you, sit down. Don't tell me what to be. Sit down. Don't tell me what to be. Sit down. I'll show you how to be. Sit down.
Sip it, lock it down.
Don't get up, don't stand up, please don't put your hand up, and don't make me tell you again.
Sit down.